Hello and welcome to another off-meta deck profile brought to you by Double Sleeve. Today, this is a good one. We're going through Toppo. This is a really controlling leader for off-meta deck profile. It's got some really cool tech in there, some generic yellow stuff that you're going to know about. This is a deck that I designed quite a while ago. Hasn't got any new cards from set 17 in here, but bear with me. Let's go through what this deck does. I have taken this to locals before, and it does really well. Very controlling. I think it's got a lot of potential in the right hands with the right pilot, and with a bit of tweaking. There's some things I put in here for a little bit of my own flavor, but you can definitely tweak this deck a little bit more to make it really competitive. And I think anyone who's a fan of Toppo will enjoy this deck. So let's have a look at the leader here. We've got Toppo. Generic, when this card attacks, draw one card. And with the awakened condition, when your life is 4 or less, or you have a yellow unison card with a specific cost of 2 in play, you can choose up to 2 of your energy, switch them to active mode, then choose cards in your life, add them to your hand until you have 6 cards left. Now we're going to go for that early awaken, getting your unison in play. We really want to have that unison centric deck, especially with the flip side of this card. So let's look at the other side. For those of you who don't know, generic auto again, when this card attacks, draw one card, but the permanent, and that's what we really want to hone in on here and what we're going to be playing with, is if you have a yellow unison card with a specific cost of 2 in play, when a player plays a battle card for, that player can't play battle cards for the turn. And that goes for both you and your opponent. So if you're playing something on your turn, it means you can also play something on your opponent's turn, which we have cards in here that do that. So the deck is designed to play on both your and your opponent's turn. And it also, your opponent can obviously do the same thing. Very important to note that the permanent, if they remove your unison, so it's important that you're protecting your unison. If they do remove it, this permanent switches off. So this permanent is going to save you, and you're going to be doing a lot to control their board to make sure that when they are playing something, it's coming in rest mode. Let's go through the cards here, and you can see what I've designed. So starting with a few multicolor cards, there is a small multicolor package here. Starting with Android 13, the mission begins. I really, really like this card. Multicolor, green, yellow. It's an arrival for one specified green, so you're going to need to charge some multicolor, which is why I've got some cards in this deck. Has the auto at the start of your opponent's turn. They choose 2 of their battle cards and KO them. Really, really important. You can play it at the end of your turn. There's a few ways to get this card out. You can play it at your opponent's turn, just keep it alive on your turn. Then as soon as they start, first thing they're doing is removing threats. So that permanent that you have in play is automatically saving you from wide board swings if you've got this card in play as well, because you're going to be continuously controlling their board. It's also a double striker as well. He has active main for 1 energy. Also, send this card from your drop area to your warp, and then choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or less and KO it. So if it does end up in your drop area, you still got utility removal there. Important to know that he's unique as well, and obviously multicolor energy exhaust. Moving into the next card, this is a really defensive card here. So we've got Krillin Android 18 Power Couple. Arrival, again for 1 green energy. Auto, when you play this card, choose one. Your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and place it in their drop area. A little bit of hand destruction. Probably the next one is what we want to utilize it for more. Choose a keyword skill on one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode. Negate it for the duration of the turn. They're swinging at you with a double strike, triple strike, anything like that. You arrival this, remove that keyword skill, and then you're laughing. You've saved yourself from a double strike. Really, really good defensive card. Only running 2 because that's pretty much all you really want it for. Next card, we have Android 14 and 15 target acquired. This is in here because of the permanent. So if your leader card is yellow or an Android, so we're a yellow leader, reduce the combo cost of this card in your hand by 1. So this becomes a free multicolor arrival piece. So if we're using arrival for Android 13 or Krillin, literally got a free combo piece in your hand, so you don't need to worry about tapping extra energy. Auto as well, if your opponent has 2 more energy, when this card is played, look at 10 cards from the top of your deck, play 1 Android 13 with an energy cost of 4 or less among them with its skills negated for the turn, then shuffle your deck. Going back to playing things on our turn, you can tap 2 energy for this, you can run the risk of finding it, and then you can play this Android 13 off the top 10. So, and also get a 15k beater out of it. So, really cheap way of getting this guy out, on top of being able to use a rival as well. And the last one, we've got 3 of Analyzer for essentially energy, exhaust, negate. So permanent, if there is a green, yellow, multicolor card in your energy other than this card, negate this card's energy exhaust in all areas. Active battle, choose 1 green, yellow, multicolor card in your hand. Place it in the drop area. Choose 1 card in your opponent's combo area and place it in its owner's drop area. Not really using it for that. We really want that for the land energy exhaust. Going into our unison, so we have Piccolo, Spirit Boost, Defender. Now there's a few unisons you can play. You've obviously got Vegeta, will be a really good choice as well. Reason I've gone with this, he's got an order once per turn when you activate the blocker skill of one of your yellow cards, add a marker to this card. Not really as worried about that skill, but we do have some yellow blockers in the deck, so it can come in handy. Auto, when you remove a marker from this card using Spirit Boost skill, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost greater than their current energy and negate skills for the turn. We do have a little bit of Spirit Boost, but not much. The +1 is what I like on this card. Choose one of your yellow battle cards, switch it to active mode at the start of your opponent's next main phase. So what I would do with this card is I would often have Android 13 out, have my Unison out in play, and then I'll be upticking, so I'll be able to swing, get my double strike swing, put pressure on Unison, leader, wherever it may need the pressure, and then at the end of the turn I'm restanding it. Yes, he can be removed still because there's a lot of removal in the game, but it just gives that extra little bit of protection as well because he's in active mode. It's a bit harder for people to just swing into it. They then have to pay energy and use skills to remove him from the battle area. Next piece we have is Vegeta. This is our searcher essentially. So when this card is played, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 1 yellow unison with a specified cost of 2 or 1 yellow Saiyan with an energy cost of 3 or less among it, add it to your hands and shuffle your deck. So our searcher piece predominantly for unison, but we do have a few other targets in the deck. Because we are playing a yellow unison, a couple of blocker counterplay Vegeta. So counterplay, you can't activate counterplay skills of other cards for the turn. The battle card being played is played in rest mode. So that's going back to what I was saying before. We're really controlling the board. We want, whenever our opponent is playing a card, we are playing it in rest mode. We're trying to make sure that we're controlling what they play so that every time they play something, they're not going to be able to put that pressure on us and we can stay at high life and we can just keep controlling their board the whole time. Permanent, if you have a unison card in play with 2 or more markers, you can activate the counter skill from your hand without paying its energy cost. So free play blocker. Blocker is going to give us an uptick on our unison. Blocker is going to protect us from an attack, and it's also going to rest one of their pieces. Our next piece tying in with a unison, another great card in yellow, Son Goku, Return of the Dragon Fist, has deflect and double strike. Auto, when this card is played, choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO them. Again, removal. Active main for 3 energy. If you have 4 or more energy and a yellow unison card in play, you can play this card from your hand, which is fantastic. And then this is our Spirit Boost that we have in the deck. So active main once per turn for Spirit Boost 2. If your leader card is mono yellow, this card gains dual attack for the turn, and your opponent can't activate skills on battle cards with an original energy cost of 7 or less from any area when this card is in battle. So this is one of our big finishes for the deck, essentially. Big double strike dual attack when you use that Spirit Boost. Next is more generic yellow stuff. So we've got Son Goku Steadfast Assistance. Again, counterplay blocker and important skill when the battle card being played is played in rest mode. Then play this card and draw 1 card. So again, playing something in rest mode. Permanent, when activating this card's counter skill from your hand, reduce the energy cost of this card by 1 for each yellow extra card in your battle area, energy, and drop area. So we've got plenty of extra cards that we're going to be able to use for that. Really strong card. Everyone who plays yellow knows just how good that card is. Moving on to our next really good generic yellow piece, Mecha Freezer Robotic Riposte. Fantastic card again saving you with the Floodgate effect. Negate the attack and then play this card from hand. Permanent, if your leader card is yellow and your opponent has 2 or more energy, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1 for each yellow extra card in your energy area and drop area. Auto, when this card is played from your hand, each time your opponent would attack with a non-unison card this turn, they must choose one of their cards in active mode and switch it to rest mode, again controlling your opponent's resources. And then we're not using the other active main there, which is 2 energy. Choose up to 1 yellow freezer card with an energy cost of 4 and mecha in its name from your hand and play it on top of this card. going back to playing things on your opponent's turn, we've got obviously our rival pieces, but I like to bring Bardock in here just for the reason that we do want to play on our opponent's turn. Um, Double Strike is native keyword skill. Auto, if your leader card is yellow, at the end of the battle in which you combo with this card from your hand, play this card. So you're comboing defensively, stopping an attack from going through, then playing this card. And then auto, when you play this card, draw one card and choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to rest mode. Again, controlling the board, drawing. A lot of cards that we're playing in this deck draw as yellow does. Next piece we have here is Great Ape Son Goku saying Instinct. Pretty standard for a lot of decks. Pay 2 energy, send this card from your drop to your warp, and draw 2 cards. So really helping feed our hand. For the secret rare, I've popped that in the slot next. So obviously there's a lot of different options. You can go your Android 17. There's all your generic pans, that sort of stuff. I've gone with this because, again, it's that blocker, it's that defensiveness. Permanent. This card is also treated as black in all areas, not really relevant here. Permanent, if this card will be removed from the battle area, remove it from the game instead. We're looking at the auto for 1 energy. At the end of battle in which this card is used in a combo from your hand, play this card from your drop area. If you do, you choose any number of your opponent's leader card, battle card, unison cards equal or less to their current energy, ignoring barrier, and switch them to rest mode. So this card coming into play, I like to play it more aggressively. You can play it defensively as well. You can shut down their turn by switching all their energy to rest mode, really shut down their plays, and then you've got the big guy out on your turn. Or you can use it offensively as well. If you know you've only got to do 1 more damage, is when I'll probably go in for that. It does have the active main for 4 energy. This card gains double strike and dual attack for the turn. So you've got a 40k dual double striker. Really, really solid secret rare. I do like this a lot. I don't think it sees too much play because there's so many generic sort of floodgate secret rares out there, but I like this secret rare a lot, especially in this deck. Now, bringing back a really old package here, this did get hit and put on the ban list for a very short amount of time. We've got the Iron Drake in the deck. So Chapil is auto once per turn. When your opponent cards attack, choose up to one of your opponent's energy and switch it to rest mode. I designed this deck a long time ago before this card even got banned, and I wanted to leave it in there just because I think with the controlling nature of this deck, if you can tap the 2 energy and get this card out, it's just such a fantastic defensive piece, and then it forces your opponent to either try and remove this card, or every time they attack, you're shutting down their turn, resting their energy. So if you can get multiple of these out, I have had games where I've had 3 of these out on board and just really shuts down turns well. And to tie into that card, we've got the extra card, Universe 9 Assemble. So active main battle, draw 2 cards. If all your opponent's energy is in rest mode, which with the way we control our opponent's energy with this deck, and even just the controlling nature, that happens a lot. Choose up to 1 Universe 9 card in your deck with an energy cost of 2 or less and play it and then shuffle your deck. So you're drawing 2 cards, playing out your Iron Drake and getting that control and really controlling the board. This is an older card, the next one, so this is an extra card. Doesn't really need to be in there, but yeah, I like to theme my decks, and this is themed with Universe 11. So counter attack is negate the attack. Then if your leader card is Universe 11, which it is, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, switch it to rest mode. So again, going back to that controlling nature. Have the same with Giant Ball, so counter play. When a battle card is played, you may choose it, switch it to rest mode, and then draw 1 card. So you get the rest and then draw 1. Next extra card we have Realm of the Gods Black Kamehameha, active battle. So this replaced a lot of those sort of Final Flash sort of cards. They brought all these out in the Realm of the Gods set, but I'm running both in this deck. Active battle, if your leader card is yellow, choose up to one of your cards and it gets plus 10,000 power for the battle, then choose one of these. If it's your turn, choose one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO it. Handy skill. If it's your opponent's turn, draw 1 card, then choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards, switch them to rest mode. I think you're getting the theme here. We're controlling everything we possibly can. And because we're doing that, we're running the one of Power of the Super Saiyan, counter attack, negate the attack. And then permanent, if you have 1 or more mono yellow energy in active mode, you can activate this card's active battle skill without paying its energy cost. Active battle, if your leader card is mono yellow, draw 1 card, and then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards. Or unison cards, switch it to rest mode. You can't activate active battle cards in this for the turn, which won't be an issue because it's a one of. Our next negate is Time Magic. Counter attack. If your leader card is yellow, negate the attack, then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, ignoring barrier, and it can't be switched to active mode until the start of your next turn. Also has Sparking Fire, which can come in handy as well, because we're going to have a decent drop area building. I haven't put over on. You can obviously tweak this deck a fair bit. There's a lot of room for wiggle. And then if we're at high life, we can utilize this to feed our life to our hand as well. So Sparking 5, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand by adding cards from your life to your hand instead of paying its energy cost. But again, going back to that controlling nature. Similar to what Krillin's in the deck for and Android 18, Vegeta's Final Flash, Active Battle. If your leader card is yellow, choose up to one of your leader cards or battle cards. It gets plus 15,000 power for the duration of the battle. And auto, if all your energy is mono yellow, when you activate this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and negate its skills for the duration of the turn. So really defensive card. Someone's going all in. Freezer's Army Reinforcements, generic blocker token negates. It's in every deck now. If your leader card is mono yellow, negate the attack, then play one Freezer's Army token with 10,000 power and against blocker for the turn. That blocker again, that skill is just so handy in this deck to control. If your opponent's swinging with one or two battle cards, you can really stop all that damage from going through. And then permanent, if your life is 5 or less, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand by adding one card from your life to your hand instead of paying its energy cost. For the super combos, I've gone for a 50-50 split. So I've got 2 of Dr. Giro, which is if your leader card is green-yellow, when you combo with this card from your hand, choose up to one green or yellow battle card with an energy cost of 4 or less from your deck, place it in your drop area, and then shuffle your deck. Targets for this are Saiyan Instinct is 1, and if you really need it, you can also throw Android 13 for that active main skill from sending it to the drop to the warp as well, is a handy skill. But also using it because it's that 0 cost 10k combo power. Really handy for that arrival piece. And the other one, I've gone with Counterblast Son Gohan. So it's got a little bit of tech in this as well. If your leader card is yellow, your life is 4 or less. When this card is used in combo, choose 1. So you can draw 1. Or during your turn, if your opponent has 5 or more cards in rest mode, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 5 or less in rest mode and KO it. Again, handy removal if there's a lot of pressure on the board. Literally super combo to put pressure on something else, and then you can remove something in rest mode. Really handy. When this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to rest mode. So that's the deck. I've tried to keep it as budget friendly as possible at the same time as making it as competitive as possible. I hope you've enjoyed the deck. If you do enjoy these off-meta deck profiles, which a lot of you guys are telling me that you really enjoy watching the off-meta deck profiles and seeing some different ideas, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We've got plenty more ideas to come, so this isn't the last one. But I do really enjoy this deck personally. I've had fun bringing it back and just designing it again and trying to remember what I actually had in the deck. But I want to thank everyone for their suggestions. We've got a lot of suggestions coming through. I'm going to try and get to those as soon as possible. That's the video. So thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.